create, so the 555 timer allows us to create not just timing circuits that are adjustable, but also sequential timing circuits. So that way, once you have, an iteration, right, like, collect here, 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 for instance, nothing would be able to get in the way of that. That wouldn't be physical. And so by using two controllers, one that runs at logic level and does all the typical ins and outs, and then a second one that either runs at negative potential or above logic level, and then they only communicate with each other through the octocoupler, then you don't have any concern that any data or any spoofing can be done to that secondary controller. And that secondary controller that's in the mouse, the keyboard, and also on the dongle means that if someone tries to fake, mouse inputs, or they try to, spoof the dongle RF signal, there would be a secondary controller that would be able to acquisition the sensory inputs directly, but they wouldn't be susceptible to these spoofing tactics, in which case they could send out signaling to, chop the SD and, save your data. So, op amp, I don't think I really need to get into how that could be useful in these circuits. Op amps are, that's just useful in any kind of way. But the 555 timer was for the sequential inputs mostly, and the adjustable timing circuits. All right, so the next thing I want to get into is the expense of this, right? How much would this cost? Well, basically nothing. You see this module here I have. If you look up this LCD online, it's a touchscreen LCD. I haven't set it up though for touchscreen. Somewhere between $4 and $6 if you buy it individual, like one part. And the controller underneath it, it's about the same price. Like, this whole thing is well under $20. So looking at something like this, right? We're, get ready to see the mess. Right now we just have the humidity. We have a humidity and temperature coming in from this module here. We've got that raw data input, which, like I was telling you, I could acquisition them raw. We got a counter, which is going to ground out to the raw, so you'll see them kind of flutter here. Just little inputs and outputs that show you that not only with this, what does this microcontroller cost? Like $2 to $4, depending on where you buy it and how long you wait. But I still have all of my real communication, like, so my ISP and I2C communications are still available. I have serial communications there. I still have basically all of my analog pins. And this thing's collecting data from this humidity sensor, temperature sensor. I've got some, button and trimmer, or potentiometer, and it's displaying to this. So, this could be something like as simple as, a little screen on the bottom of your actual mouse, or anywhere that'd be, advantageous. Your keyboard may have something like this. I see people spending $60 like nothing on those little, light up keyboards that have some programmable nonsense in them. This would be capable of doing all of that plus more. You wouldn't need to have some software on your computer that allows you to update. You'd have a screen and literally an input directly on the keyboard, because if this touch screen costs $6 and change, then imagine how much something like that costs, and if this controller is like I said, like $6-7, then imagine how much one like that costs, at bulk. And this still doesn't even do anything. And by the way, this is bleeding over. But not only is this able to, acquisition all the information from any arbitrary amount of sensors, it can also save it to an SD card. And you can get a terabyte of that easily and just dump your data there if you want to keep it safe. Basically, don't keep all of your data in one place, that one place being a black box that's connected to the entire internet, the entire world.